2014 is shaping up to be a great year for JRPG fans. With that being said, this list will only contain games that have a high chance of being released in 2014 or are already confirmed for a 2014 release. Games such as Final Fantasy XV and Kingdom Hearts 3 therefore will not be on this list, as a 2014 release will be highly unlikely. Let's begin. Tales of Xillia 2 is the sequel to the amazing Tales of Xillia 1 that came this summer. Starring the new protagonist, Ludger, the game is known to be much darker and more mature than the original. The game is set 1 year after Tales of Xillia 1, and most of the original cast member returns to help Ludger on his journey to find his brother. Personally, I quite enjoyed Tales of Xillia, so Tales of Xillia 2 is a no-brainer for me. This game has been out since November 2012 in Japan, and us North Americans or Europeans should be expecting the game mid-2014. If you're a Tales fan, I strongly suggest picking it up. Speaking of Tales games, Tales of Symphonia Chronicles is an HD remaster of the original Tales of Symphonia and Symphonia Dawn of the New World. I myself have never played Tales of Symphonia, so this purchase is also a no-brainer for me. Highly regarded as the best Tales game in the series, I'm quite excited to find out if this claim is true. Tales of the Abyss is my personal favorite, so it should be interesting to see what I think about it. Namco Bandai also announced that the game will have dual audio, so to all the people who enjoy the original Japanese language, this will no doubt be another reason to repurchase the game. Tales of Symphonia is set to be released on February 25th. Another classic I have just not got around to playing is Legend of Hero Trails in the Sky. The long-awaited sequel, Trails in the Sky Second Chapter, has been formally announced to be localized by Xseed in 2014. There's not much I can say about this one, as I have yet to play the original, but I'll definitely try to play it before Second Chapter comes up. Trails in the Sky is widely regarded as one of the best JRPGs released by all who have played it, so it's no surprise that Xseed decided to localize the sequel. The game and its prequel will be released on Steam for PC users, which will no doubt please some PC gamers who don't have a Vita or PSP. The third game in the Final Fantasy XIII series marks the return of Lightning, no pun intended, as the main protagonist of the series. To be perfectly honest, I don't have much expectations for this one, as I personally did not enjoy Final Fantasy XIII or XIII-2. It's funny because every sequel seems to have lowered the amount of party members that are playable. Having only one playable character for a JRPG is a bit weird in my opinion. Anyways, fans of the 13th series will no doubt still pick the game up. I personally will probably wait for reviews before I decide if it's worth the purchase or not. But to those of you who like it, I guess it's worth a look. Another Final Fantasy game coming out in 2014 is Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD. Final Fantasy X is my favorite game of all time, so there is no doubt that I'll be purchasing these games. I've already pre-ordered the PS3 and Vita versions, as well as the Japanese twin pack for the Vita. Originally, the game was supposed to be released at the end of 2013, but the recently announced Japanese release date of December 26, 2013 pretty much makes an English release in 2013 impossible. With a new orchestral soundtrack and HD graphics, anyone who is a JRPG fan should be picking this one up. I personally cannot wait to revisit my favorite game of all time in glorious HD. To no one's surprise, after Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix, Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD Remix was recently announced by Square Enix. Containing Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, and the cutscenes from Recoded, this game makes a great value for only $40. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, and I've also have yet to play Birth by Sleep. This package, as well as the HD Remix 1.5, is a great way for people who want to play the recently announced Kingdom Hearts 3 to catch up with the series, or for anyone who simply wants a refresher to the surprisingly convoluted story. Square Enix hasn't been making stellar games recently, to no one's surprise, but Bravely Default: The Flying Fairy aims to change all that. Released in Japan in October 2012, the game finally makes its way to English audiences with an early 2014 release in North America and a December release for Europe. Based on early reviews, the game is a throwback to the classic Final Fantasy games and does an amazing job in doing so. This is definitely a must-buy for the fans of the classic Final Fantasies, myself included. The game also received an updated version in Japan that apparently cuts the game's length in half by removing the grinding required to beat the game. Although I wish we got that version instead, I personally don't mind grinding in JRPGs, so it probably won't be too bad. This is definitely one you guys should check out. The sequel to the weirdest games on the PS2, Drakengard 3, aims to be just as twisted and messed up. In this game, you play as Zero, whose mission is to hunt down and kill her 5 sisters for reasons not yet known. If that premise wasn't twisted enough for you, each of the 5 sisters have an apostle, whose job is to satisfy their sexual needs, which is supposed to play an integral part in the story. Yeah, as weird as this game sounds, I must say I'm definitely be checking it out. I've not played any of the other Drakengard games, but this seems to be a great place to jump in. The game will be a digital release only on the PSN store in 2014, but hopefully Square Enix decides to have a physical release as well. Soul Saga is a JRPG developed by indie developer Zestiria. Although it is technically not a JRPG by definition, as it is being developed by a Western indie developer, it is without a doubt a JRPG in spirit. The game was kickstarted on Kickstarter and raised a total of $195,000. This was one of the only games I backed on Kickstarter, and as it stands, it's looking to be a great JRPG. The game will be released on Vita, PS3, PC, and Wii U in 2014. I strongly suggest you support the developer out and buy the game when it is released. For those of you who watched my top 10 games of this gen video, you know that Xenoblade Chronicles was my favorite game of this generation. Monolith Soft's new game, simply titled X, is looking like Xenoblade on an HD console and is by no means a bad thing. Although this game has no release date as of yet, the trailers show a pretty good build of the game that suggests the game should be close to completion. I don't own a Wii U at the moment, but as soon as the release date is announced for this game, you can be sure that I will pick one up. This game will without a doubt be the reason people need to finally go out and pick up a Wii U. Last but not least is the Vita dungeon crawler JRPG Demon Gaze. Similar to the Etrian Odyssey games, Demon Gaze is a hardcore dungeon crawler through and through. However, the game is apparently quite story driven compared to other dungeon crawlers, which makes this game stand out from the rest. That and the graphics look extremely colorful and expressive. First-person dungeon crawlers are not exactly my forte, but this game looks interesting enough to warrant a purchase. So that's it for the JRPGs of 2014. Let me know if I missed anything, and also tell me the JRPGs you're most excited for in 2014 in the comment section. Thanks for watching.